an all-electric car, it's actually a marvelous experience. And it's
The Apple Car is coming sooner than you think. For years, Apple has been trying to break into the automotive space, from trying to acquire Tesla way back in 2013 to endlessly working on their own electric vehicle. After all this time, it actually looks like the Apple Car is finally taking shape, as rumors are suggesting a release closer to 2024. But considering the tremendous progress from Tesla, NIO, and Rivian, it seems like Apple's entrance into the EV market will end up like Microsoft's entrance into smartphones. However, here's why you shouldn't underestimate the Apple Car. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channels and hit that notification bell for more updates. Now, let's begin. There's not much doubt that Apple is working on a car-related project. Details are small and fleeting, but whether it's self-driving software or a full-blown vehicle, the rumored to be dubbed iCar or Apple Titan is definitely in the works.
And every day I sort of ask myself, it was Dr. King's quote that said,
Back in 2015, rumors began circulating that Apple was working on a full-on car that would give Tesla a run for its money. From this to the slew of sensor and camera-equipped cars driving around California that were registered to Apple, the anticipation for Apple's take on the vehicle industry began to seem real.
We ask ourselves, what kind of world do we want to live in? 2 years later,
There was even a Bloomberg interview with CEO Tim Cook in June of 2017 that affirmed the rumors Apple was developing some sort of autonomous driving platform. Fast forward to May of 2018, when it surfaced that Apple and VW are going to work together on not an autonomous car for the masses, but rather a self-driving vehicle for its employees to be transported to work. While this did affirm that Apple has immersed itself into the industry, is this as far as it gets? Even today, the Apple Car is years out, but major news sources are spending so much money and resources covering Apple Car rumors, leaks, and features. Imagine when the Apple Car actually comes out. The entire press will be all over it, and don't forget about their keynote. The keynote will likely end up trending on YouTube, and it'll get pushed all throughout social media. Considering this, Apple doesn't have to worry about informing customers about the car. This, however, is not the case with competitors like Lucid, Rivian, and Fuel Cell. Aside from a massive marketing reach, Apple also has extremely deep pockets. As of January, Apple was holding $195.57 billion in cash.
Self-driving cars, but also the electrification piece. If you've driven,
so they can easily afford to fully develop their self-driving technology before releasing it to the public. While Tesla's autopilot software is awesome, it definitely has its issues, and that's to be expected as it's just beta software. Apple, however, will refuse to launch self-driving software until they get it nearly perfect, and they can afford to do this as well. Something else to keep in mind is that Apple has access to the best talent in the world, just like Tesla. Not only is Apple an extremely desirable company to work for many, but they also pay exuberant amounts of money. For instance, software engineers at Apple earn between $170,000 and $681,000 per year in total compensation. This isn't to say that the work these individuals do is worth this amount of money per se. Rather, rich tech companies like Apple, Google, and Facebook love to offer salaries that are far above the industry standard. This way, they can attract the best employees possible and subsequently set super high expectations for their employees to meet. With that being said, Apple won't have trouble hiring the best AI and machine learning developers out there. In fact, they'll probably lure a lot from Tesla, as they have been doing for the past several years. As a result, it's very likely that Apple will offer a super refined autonomous car from day one. After all, their company motto is, "It just works." I suspect many luxury consumers will appreciate this refined offering and will choose the Apple Car over the competition for this reason. Moving on, another major advantage that only Apple has is their ecosystem. The Apple ecosystem is one of the most popular in the world. Many people own iPhones, Apple Watches, AirPods, and MacBooks because these devices work together so well. Most modern cars do support Apple CarPlay, but I'm sure the infotainment system that is included with the Apple Car will be multiples ahead of CarPlay. We might even see Apple create a brand new software suite for the Apple Car with its own app store and everything. This might allow users to play games and watch YouTube videos while their car is charging. Also, people in the Apple ecosystem not only own a bunch of Apple products, but they are often also subscribed to many of Apple's services, from Apple Music and Apple TV to iCloud and Apple Arcade. I'm quite certain that Apple's going to nail the integration between the Apple Car and their various devices and services. As a result, many will be willing to pay the Apple tax just for the better seamless experience. Take AirPods, for instance. Wireless headphones aren't exactly revolutionary, and you can get similar sound quality from wireless headphones that are nearly half the price. However, AirPods are by far the most popular choice because 1, they're fashionable and they're from Apple, and 2, they work so well with Apple devices. This simple principle will likely draw tens of thousands of customers to the Apple Car every year. Along the lines of the Apple ecosystem, we also have Apple's design language. One of the main reasons that many Tesla owners love their Tesla is because of the clean, modern interior design. The design language of Tesla is often compared to Apple, and it's very possible that Tesla really was inspired by Apple in terms of design. But what happens when Apple themselves enter the car market? At that point, we would get authentic Apple design in cars, which may attract many. Next up, we have manufacturing. One of the hardest parts of growing an EV business is scalping up manufacturing. But Apple isn't going to be manufacturing their cars themselves. Instead, they're going to be relying on an actual automaker to manufacture their cars. There were rumors that Apple was going to team up with Hyundai, which is a questionable move. But that rumor has since fallen apart. Since then, we also saw rumors that Apple was networking with Nissan, but these too have fizzled out. Ideally, I think Apple should work with a German manufacturer like Mercedes or BMW to stay in line with their branding. But whoever they choose to work with, one thing that's clear is that Apple is not going to be making manufacturing themselves, so they can easily cut past most of the significant challenges involved with scaling EV manufacturing. Moreover, as we discussed at the beginning, Apple is simply looking to be a niche player, so I don't think they're looking to make more than a few 100,000 cars per year. Maybe they'll eventually get to 1 or 2 million annually, but they're by no means aiming for 10 million cars per year. Thus, they shouldn't have too many scaling problems to begin with. Anyway, another reason you shouldn't underestimate the Apple Car is because Apple is taking it extremely seriously. Apple Insider has reported that Apple has over 1,000 people working on the car. This includes key players like NVIDIA's former AI leaders and Tesla's former vice presidents. It even seems like Jony Ive has played a significant role in the project before he left Apple. On top of all this, Apple has also been making several large land purchases, which is assumed to be for autonomous software testing. In the end, all of the advantages we have discussed so far indicates that Apple will be coming out with a super refined car that is quite practical. This is all great and all, but there is one more major opportunity that Apple is likely looking to take full advantage of, which is a void in the luxury EV/AV market. You see, Tesla is looking to exit the consumer car market as soon as they're able to get their self-driving technology approved by the government for robo-taxi use. The Tesla Model S, which is likely the closest to the Apple Car, will go from costing $70,000 to $80,000 to $170,000 to $180,000. And this is precisely what Apple is targeting. Originally, rumors suggested that Apple was looking to get into the robo-taxi market as well. But now, rumors are suggesting that Apple is targeting private use. Well, some might check out offerings from Audi and Mercedes. However, in this scenario, a $75,000 Apple Car seems like a perfect choice for these customers. And I think this is where Apple can really win in the car market. At the end of the day, while it may seem like Apple is entering the EV/AV space late, we have to keep in mind that the automotive industry is massive and that there are no dominating players in the market. Even Toyota only controls a mere 10.24% of the industry, and everyone else only controls single-digit percentages. So it's not like the e-commerce space where one company controls 50% or anything like that. On top of this, the automotive industry is currently undergoing a radical shift towards electric and autonomous vehicles.